Do you know the worst thing about a shopping trip? It happens through the unloading. It's a lot of food to unload. Got to be done. Let's crack into it. Hey, what's up guys? Ben Tucker here. So I'm really excited today because today is my carb up day. Super stoked for this. I've been low carb on it for a few days now and today is the high carb day. So what I'm going to show you today in this video is my food choices. So I'm going to go to the shop. I'm going to go and get a load of food from Morrison's. As you can see, I'm going to show you the list now. So here you can see the shopping list that we've got to go and get. So we've got to get some veg, salad, chicken, red meat, rice, sweet potato, almond milk, semi-skim milk, Cocoa Pops, peanut butter ×2, so crunchy and smooth, rice cakes, eggs, toilet paper and frozen chicken. So I'm going to go up, get it in the shop, bring it back and talk to you guys a little bit just about kind of why I chose these food choices and how I'm going to implement them into my diet and when. So off we go to go and get some food shopping. Don't know about you guys, but there's just something about going to the shop and just buying food that's just really exciting. You know, knowing what you can fit into your macros kind of gets me a little bit excited. So anyhow, let's go and get the food and I'll see you guys when we get back. So we are back from shopping, we're back in the kitchen to talk a little bit to you guys about nutrition. So when it comes to losing weight, or when it comes to even bulking up, all of it is revolved around nutrition. Training does have a massive part of it, but it's a saying I always say, you can't out-train a bad diet. And what I mean by that is, you can eat all the food in the world you want, or you can train as hard as you want in the gym. You can go heavy for hours, but if your diet isn't in check and you're consuming more calories than you're burning, you will not lose body fat. So we've just been shopping, we've got all the food, so I've got lots of different varieties. You know, I've got my protein here, I've got my carbohydrates, some fats, good fiber as well from my vegetables. You know, all of this food is going to contribute to a good, strong, healthy body. When we lose weight, we want to make sure that our body composition is in check first, as opposed to just dropping weight on the scales. And that is done by good nutrition. Getting in things like enough protein is going to help savor that muscle as you diet down through the weeks and drop more body fat. Keeping carbohydrates in the diet is going to ensure that you've still got the energy to be able to push hard in the gym. Fats play an important part in the diet as well. Too many people cut too many fats out. You need fats in your diet to lose body fat. Okay? So you need to eat fat to lose fat. Your body will not give up its original fat stores if you're not feeding it good, nutritious, healthy fats. So I'm going to give you a little rundown of what I eat as quick as possible for you guys so I don't bore the hell out of you. So here, we're going to start with protein, because I think protein is definitely the one thing that people don't eat enough of. Okay, protein is essential. My recommendation is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, minimal. When we was at the shop, so here, I've got some steak mince, so we'll start with red meat. I eat red meat probably once a day, at least, if not, twice a day sometimes. But for my red meat choices, I normally like to go with a lean 5% or 10% fat mince. And I also tend to go with really, good cuts of steak. This one was 675 grams worth of red meat for just £5. So when I also choose my foods, I do tend to choose the cheapest ones, because in my opinion, there's no point going for the all-out expensive ones for for a big juicy bit of steak that's just going to be consumed within 1 meal, and if anything, it might be heated up in the microwave anyway. For me, I'd rather just get the best bang for my buck and go for the cheapest option. Secondly, we have our chicken. So this is another great protein source that I'd probably eat 4 times a day minimal, 3 times maybe. It's very low in fat, very high in protein. It's got lots of essential amino acids, which is going to help build muscle. And chicken is just a brilliant source. Easy to cook, easy to prep, easy to store as well, and then just chuck to the microwave and it's all cooked. For a different alternative to chicken, you could have the frozen chicken. So here, you saw me buy this at the store. It's frozen chicken strips, and what it is, you can just literally chuck it in the microwave for about 4 minutes or 5 minutes and it's done. So very, very quick and easy and effective as well. So that's the frozen chicken strips. I also go with salmon, and salmon is probably one of my most favourite meats. I love salmon because when you mix it with rice, the oils in the salmon ooze out and just create this lovely texture all over the rice, and it tastes amazing. Salmon is also very, very high in omega-3 fatty acids. Salmon I will probably eat once every other day. It is quite an expensive meat. I did manage to get it for like £3 for 2 fillets, so I kind of stocked up on that a little bit and made the most of it, and that's something I would recommend to you. If you're going shopping and you see a discount on a food that you have a lot, just buy all the discounts you can, because then you can just store it in the freezer, store it in the fridge, and you'll thank yourself for it later in the future. Another protein source that I eat is bacon. I'll have this in the morning with 2 slices of bacon, 2 eggs as a low-carb breakfast. Yes, it has got some saturated fats in it, but it's good fats. You do need some saturated fats, but I would probably keep that to about 10% of your diet and keep the rest healthy fats. So also on the front, I've got some eggs. I use them. I should have some egg whites being delivered. I bought them off of Amazon. You can get like 6 litres for I think £27. But there I've just got some whole eggs, and I normally have 2 of them a day, say 2 whole eggs to every 6 egg whites. So the next food I'm probably going to move on to is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates definitely get a bad rap. Guys, you need carbs in your diet for your body to facilitate some of its most useful energy stores. Okay, carbohydrates store as muscle glycogen, and that is what is get used to go out there and have a really hard training session. Carbs, however, need to be eaten at certain times of the day. All right, I personally eat most of my carbs pre-workout, but probably get the majority of them in post-workout. That's when your body's going to really soak up the carbs, use them as fuel, and be able to store them without storing them as body's fat quite easily. So for my carb choices, I do tend to vary it. I like vary my food. I do get bored of the same thing all the time. And I have done them diets, but nowadays I do like to kind of take it easy, eat what I want within moderation, but still, healthy. So carbohydrate wise, we've got things like sweet potatoes, Thai jasmine rice, marshmallow Rice Krispie squares. Yes, these are allowed in the diet. They are very low fat, as is Cocoa Pops. So things like that. If you think about it, guys, it's just rice. It's just rice with a bit of sugar and some other thickeners and things in it. But overall, it is rice, and your body will be able to store that as muscle glycogen. It's sugary carbs that won't be stored as muscle glycogen that you want to stay away from. I'll eat Cocoa Pops or Rice Krispie Squares post-workout most of the time because that's when your body is going to want these sugary carbohydrates to get that insulin spike and start that muscle repairing. Also, other carbohydrates wise, I have got some things like Ryvitas. These are brilliant, very, very high in fibre, a good quick meal, 3 Ryvitas, can of tuna, put that on there, a bit of MyProtein, sugar-free sweet chili sauce, chuck some of that on, and the job's a good one. That's a really good meal, and it's so quick and easy to prepare and also to eat. We have got some whole wheat pasta. I do use that sometimes, but to me, I don't like to stick to too much pasta. It doesn't agree with my body too much. I do become very bloated. However, I do love pasta. I love the texture of it. So I will try and keep that in my diet, but I do monitor how I'm feeling on it. And normally if it gets to the point where I'm not dropping enough body fat, something like pasta will get cut out of the diet. So I've got some bananas here. Again, bananas are like a superfood to me. I love bananas. They give me good energy. They're full of potassium, which is essential for your central nervous system, which is what helps signal your mind to your muscles to get good contraction, to get a good, workout in. That is essential. So a banana for me, either in the morning with a shake blended in, or pre-workout and post-workout is the best times for me to have a banana, and also probably for you. Because like I said, that's when your body wants the sugar, and that's when it's going to spike that insulin and get that muscle repairing going. So fats-wise now, now we're going to move on to fats. I've just got some peanut butter here, which we bought from the shop, but I do also have things like avocados. I will mix half of one of them into my meal, probably once a day, maybe twice a day. Fats are very calorically dense, so it's very easy to overeat your fats. So you need to be very careful and ensure that you're tracking your calories, you're making sure you're not going over on your fat stores, but also the fat you're getting is good, essential, healthy fats. And that's what's going to help burn that extra stubborn belly fat and keep that fat, keep your body loaded with good, healthy fats. Other fat sources that I do tend to use would be things like coconut oil or olive oil. I will put that just on my rice, like sprinkle some olive oil on, or use coconut oil to cook my chicken in. I do use that sometimes. However, because I can't necessarily taste that fat, I do like to eat my fats. I do have walnuts, I have almonds, but I do like to be able to eat my fats. And if they're just kind of put into a meal without me really knowing it, I feel like that's kind of a waste of fat sometimes. So I tend to just use the 1 calorie oil spray so that I can save my fat macros for something else like peanut butter or like a rice cake or something. That is a good snack. Other fat sources, almond milk, I will mix that in with a protein shake maybe once a day. Or what I do is I'll make I'll put it in my cereal. I do prefer that to normal skimmed milk because I just find it digests a lot better with my stomach, doesn't leave me so bloated. And it's not as thick either, it's quite, it's a little bit more watery, and I quite like that. Okay, so now I'll go on to fibre. So fibre is vegetables. Basically a lot of good vegetables, a lot of whole grains. So a great snack to snack on when you're dieting without having any calories, but ensuring you're still getting your fibre in, is celery. Technically, you do burn more calories through eating and digesting the celery than what you actually do eating it. So it is kind of like a free food that you can just eat as much as you want of. But still do be careful because too much fibre is a bit harsh on the body and the digestive system, and you get a lot of bloating and things like that. So, a couple of stalks of celery a day is going to keep you snacking, keep you grazing, and it's literally no calories. Here I've got Romanian lettuce, and what I tend to do with that, I will use the mince and I will make it into burgers, and then I will put the burgers in a leaf of Romanian lettuce and turn it into like a bun and eat it, as you probably saw my full day of eating on the last video I did. My girlfriend, she loves salads, so I just bought her some salad stuff. Sometimes I will use the salads, but I tend to like hot food. Where I worked on a building site for 5 years, I used to have to eat cold food all the time. Now that I get the luxury to be able to use a microwave and have some hot food, that's what I normally tend to do. So I like my vegetables, especially the microwave ones that you can see in my, my meal prep video. You'll see me using them. They're really good as well. Things like asparagus is a natural diuretic. It's really going to help you give that leaner look to you. Also, I've got mushrooms, and I didn't buy it, but normally I get spinach, courgettes, peppers. These all will be chopped up and they're probably mixed into the same dish. And I'll have that with like some rice, some chicken, mix it all together. I'll do a video on that soon. Mix it all together, and then literally you've got such a nice meal there, just full of volume, full of foods. And if you cook it well enough, you cook it down, then almost all the vegetable becomes a little bit watery. So when you're eating it in the rice, it just makes the rice a lot thicker and more volume of food. So it makes you feel more full up. So also other things you might see are like fat sauces. I've got some Philadelphia cheese. That's just to fit the macros, guys, because we like to, I can't eat just all the same normal food all the time. I do like to have a play around with food. So some sweet chili Philadelphia with some toast. That is a lovely breakfast as well. Even you could put some like deli chicken on it and a tiny bit of sugar-free sweet chili sauce, and then eat that, and that is a beautiful, beautiful breakfast. So I think we've pretty much covered everything. You know, I've got some chopped tomatoes here. They're just used to make homemade curries, which I'll do a video on that as well for you guys. I make homemade healthy curries with them, and it is brilliant. I love, love, love curries, especially because you can make them healthy. So guys, so with all this food, I think you kind of get an idea that it's mostly healthy, but we have got the odd little treat in there here and there, as you can see with this chocolate. So yes, I do eat chocolate on a diet, but we have to make little changes. And this is 85% dark chocolate. And what I tend to do with that is break it up into little bits, put it in some natural Greek yogurt, the low-fat one, and then I'll put a scoop of protein in, mix it all together. It becomes really thick, and it's almost like an Oreo. That's the best way I can put it. And it literally does taste like an Oreo. When you've been dieting, guys, for a few weeks and you've had no form of sugar, and you have a meal like that, it's gonna taste so nice. And it literally tastes like you're having a treat. So guys, I've pretty much given you a rundown of all the foods that I'm gonna be eating within my diet. Basically, when it comes to losing weight, this has got to be in check first, before anything, okay? My back's still bad, I'm still in a lot of pain with it, so I can't actually go balls to the walls training at the moment, and I wish I could, because I do want to bring you guys some good video training content, but just I find that at the moment, the workouts just aren't going to be good enough for me to film. Maybe I'll get someone to do the workouts and I'll put them through it, and then I can give you guys something to see, but at the moment it's still quite painful. So we're really making sure that the diet is in check at the moment. So I will probably eat around 5 to 6 meals a day worth of all this food. So for example, I'll give you a typical day. I'll wake up, I'll have some oats, I'll have some eggs. Next meal, I'll probably have some chicken and rice. Next meal, I'll probably have some tuna and rye vita. Next meal, I'll probably have steak or mince or steak burgers with some sweet potato. And then finally, I'll probably have a protein shake. And then I'll come home and have some salmon with all this different veg mixed in to that. And I'll probably snack throughout the day, maybe on some caramel rice cakes. Oh, and also, I'll have one of these a day as well, Pepsi Max Cherry. Keeps me going, makes me think I'm having a sweet treat. When you get down to that dieting stage where you're not having any sugar, things do get difficult. And you need something that's just gonna give you that sweet tooth hit just to keep you going. And this stuff is brilliant. However, I would limit it to 1, maximum 2 cans a day. We have got some things missing, just like some berries, spinach, but this is typically it, guys. And I will include all of this into my diet where and when possible to lose body fat. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope I've given you a little in-depth sight as to kind of how I go about dieting for someone who naturally gains body fat quite easily. All these foods, even the bacon, even the Cocoa Pops, these all get used in my diet for me to cut body fat, because for me to make it sustainable, you have to still eat foods that you enjoy, and you have to still be able to live your life as normal as possible without making you think that you're on a diet. But anyhow, so I use all of this food, and guys, go and try it for yourself. You've got your macronutrient ratios now, so go out and, and just read the labels as well. Read the labels on foods. You think things like this is unhealthy, but it's just puffed rice. It's puffed rice with a bit of sugar. Not gonna kill you. Hope this was really helpful. This has kind of been like our little brief nutrition talk. Then I just wanted to quickly show you kind of what I'm eating on a daily basis at the moment, just to help give you an idea of what you should go out and buy and what you should eat. And what else I'll do in the future, I will do some cooking videos of me using, doing my homemade curries or bolognese or these burgers. I'll show you guys kind of how I make them and how I make them healthy as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, this little installment of our nutrition briefing. And for more from me, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, that's Ben Tucker. Like the video, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, if you thought it was any good or if you think I need to work on anything. But all this YouTube stuff's new to me and I'm really enjoying getting videos out there and content for you guys that is just going to help you. So thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.